Here we are. First day of coming back. Let's just say that. Smashed up my thumb in crankworks for those that don't know. And didn't even make it through till day 3, I think it was. It happened in like sort of like the second practice of the downhill up there after a ripper of a qualifying run for dual slalom.
Watch the gate.
Druery crossing in the black course with a 23.96, his fastest time there for Jack.
Qualified 6 on the big bike, which was a result that I did not expect. Being on that course and with that level of competition, it was pretty surreal to me. So went into downhill practice with some sort of good confidence that I was sort of riding well and my form was good. Because I was able to consistently back that up over laps and laps during practice, so pretty happy with that. So yeah, kind of here we are. I have been now home for a couple of days after a very long festival of not riding or racing, which was a bummer, but got to spend a lot of time with the team, help out my athletes that were there at the time. A few pulling out some outstanding results. Massive shout out to Zane for that one. Pulled a 3rd at his first ever crankworks, first ever downhill race, so that was awesome to see. And then the rest of the boys not having the best luck, but all came away with in one piece, which is good, so they can hit training hard for enduro nats later in the year and a few big events that we've got to tick off. But here I am, day 1 of coming back, and I think it's going to be about working really damn hard on things that I can and the limitations that I have. Shout out to the man Clay Schulz for spotting me what's it called, a safety squat bar, so I don't need to use my hands to squat. I think that that's going to be the main tool for the next 6 or 7 weeks while I can't really move my hand too well. So I'm looking forward to using that, getting some strength back up. I think today I'm actually going to design my own program, sit down with James and actually nut out like what the next 2 blocks of training are going to look like, given that I'm not going to be able to touch a bike for at least 8 weeks by the looks of it, because I should be going into surgery on Monday to get a plate put in, which is pretty devastating news. Honestly, I thought that being a week down right now and with a clean break that it would be well on its way to recovery. Unfortunately, it is not. The position that the doctors were able to get it back into up in Cairns Base Hospital was good at the time, but upon further review yesterday, it is not. So, yep, bummed about that, but I mean, what do you do? I think I've got to take a long-term view here and just go, what's going to give me the best strength and mobility in my thumb moving forward? Obviously being a very, very key piece to riding and racing a bike, which I'm mostly worried about. If it rides off the rest of this season, so be it, as long as I can have full function for the rest of my life with my thumb all going well. I would much prefer that to come back at the end of the season for Nationals and Stram Jam rather than miss a few local races, as hard as that is, because I am winning a couple of series at the moment. Well, I was until this. Yeah, that sort of sucks, but anyway, we're going to be positive through this whole process. I'm going to gather what it's really like to have kind of like an acute injury like this and actually train through it to further pass that down onto my athletes and for the SuperDust team. Coming from a coach's point of view, I don't think that the rehab and recovery is taken into full consideration when you've never been there or done that before. So I think me being able to live it is really going to help in future programming, and just understand more of the mental side of things, of where the athletes are going to sit and what, like, you know, how they're feeling, sort of the slight bits of depression that they may be facing. You know, we're all very super competitive, and being down and out is not easy. I'm already suffering. I suffered a lot last week. I just had to squash it down and move forward with the task at hand, which was to be there for the SuperDust team. But you know, positive things leads to better results, leads to harder training. So it's time for me to sort of knuckle down for 6 to 8 weeks at this stage, and just, I mean, the goal is to just bury myself in strength and fitness, to be totally honest with you. Just do everything that I possibly can physically and mentally to come back even stronger. And yeah, basically attack the second half of the year at full tilt. Pray to God this doesn't happen again, but yeah, here we go. Starting off with a couple of hours on the air bike. I figured that I'll just get my legs spinning again. I'm gonna do about a 20-minute nice easy roll and recovery at about 150 watts on average. Just sort of conversational pace, really, like I'm doing right now, without even my hands touching. So just going to be a lot of it, and then move into a program that we call baseline fitness on the air bike, using sort of RPE as your gauge, sort of between that 5 to 10 mark, ranging between there, with different time variants of rest and efforts, mixed in with sprints and longer distance. That'll take about 30 to 40 minutes, and then probably finish off with about an hour and 10 minutes to hit that 2-hour mark, to finish off the session with a bit of endurance work to get the legs swinging. And then once we design the program tonight, hit tomorrow hot and heavy with some strength training as well. So I am looking forward to that side of things, just to sort of clear the mind, clear the head, and progress on with things. Just do everything that I possibly can. So stay tuned for this one. I'm gonna try my best to document like the whole journey, and what that entails, and you'll probably see the ups and downs of it all. I'm gonna try and spend some time with my athletes coaching where I can too, even though it's gonna be hard with the mobility, but where there's a will, there's a way, and we'll get out there and see them. So hopefully document that as well, which is exciting. But yeah, stay tuned for what's to come. I hope this helps some people, and I hope it gives you guys a better understanding of like sort of what an amateur to privateer to up and comer hopefully goes through with injury prior to their career really kicking off on the athlete space as well. You know, just so you guys are aware, and if you ever go through this sort of thing as well, you can have sort of an appreciation for, you know, other people doing it as well. You're not alone. It happens, part and parcel with a stupidly risky sport that we do, but we love it, right? So onwards and upwards. Let's go. Just finished up, nearing on 2 hours on the echo bike. Just over 1,000 calories and over 60 kilometers. If that makes a difference to you, I don't know. If you're on an echo bike doing this sort of thing, it will. It's quite a long time on this thing, but no, it's good. We started off with a 20-minute roll, as we said before, into a base fitness session. Definitely took a little bit longer than I thought it would. I totally forgot about the 20-minute effort that we had to do in that, plus a few other little cheeky stuff that the SuperDust athletes will know. All around pretty good. I haven't really trained or done anything for like the last 7 days being at the festival. It was pretty hard to. I was pretty exhausted. I think my body is trying to do its best to heal this thing, plus just like big days out in the sun and dealing with like heaps of talking and heaps of events to go watch, so it's like getting pretty fatiguing. But I think we're finally back at full energy levels now, which is nice. I can hook it into training. But yeah, finishing off day 1 of the recovery process, so stay tuned for more. It is the morning of day 2 and I've just finished off an hour workout on the assault bike for some like more endurance based training. I wrote this program. I'm pretty stoked with it for the purpose of it. It's sort of like a midweek breakup of like less intensity, more just sort of endurance training just to spin the legs over. Yeah, build that endurance up basically. And to be able to do it in an hour, I think is pretty good on air bike. It's pretty hard. Sort of like 2 20-minute efforts at a high RPE, which is nice. Spent a lot of time last night working out sort of like a rough program for the week and then dialing it in to day by day. At this current stage, it looks like I'm going to be doing 3 leg strength sessions per week and quite a few endurance sessions on top of that, sort of like a hybrid training method you could say, which is very in line with like the sport of enduro and downhill, I guess. So yeah, spent a bit of time doing that and I'm pretty stoked on it. And we'll be hitting the first session this afternoon with a safety squat bar that the man Clay Schulz has let me borrow. So absolute huge thanks to him for that one. Dropped it down at the store yesterday and my brother dropped it off here last night, which is sick. And as you can see, still got to unpack all the bike and gear that I took to Crankworks, which is very annoying, but it's going to be a bit of a challenge one-handed. But anyway, got to do that at some point this week too, so see you soon. All right, now what you just saw there is what I call my morning concoction. I never used to do this until I met the SuperDust team, in particular James Clare, and basically I came into coaching with him with very little knowledge on like what actual hydration was and like sort of like immunity and everything like that. So he sort of educated me from an athlete standpoint very early on. Now we're talking over a year ago on how to best do this. So I call this my morning concoction, and it is basically like everything that I sort of need on a daily basis slammed into the one drink. Generally I do it first up in the morning, but I just wanted to do a video for you guys today explaining sort of like how that goes down. So first and foremost is our high performance Superflow greens from SuperDust. Now you're gonna screw your nose up at this because greens do generally taste disgusting. I've had greens for ages, tried a heap of different brands, and I know this is a biased opinion, but these are by far the best tasting greens out on the market. So yeah, get yourself a good spoonful of this in the morning. Now, because I did break my thumb, I've been recommended to increase the collagen, which is that there, which normally isn't in it, but for the last week and a bit, I've had to put that in there. Always a staple: creatine, bit of salt, turmeric, and cayenne pepper, and then to finish it off, a good splash of ACV. Now, with your teeth health, it is definitely not ideal to take ACV every day, hence why I immediately rinse the cup out, drink the rest of the stuff in there, and then quickly flush my mouth out, and then I'll go brush my teeth straight after this, just because the acidic content is obviously not good. Benefits to all of this is it does keep me super hydrated and basically like boost my immunity throughout, like just constantly. This is a daily practice for me without fail. Yes, it is kind of like an acidic, salty
a bit of a mess. I think if I had the greens powder on their own or in a smoothie, it'd taste a lot better. But for the effectiveness and just time throughout the day, this suits me just fine. Sort of makes the morning coffee afterwards a bit more worth it, because everyone knows I love my coffee. So yeah, I bang this down every day, and honestly, I've never felt better. I've never been healthier. It is, yeah, crappy way to start the day, in all honesty, but so worth it. So worth it, and definitely travel with all this stuff as well. So yeah, if you're keen and interested to increase your health and performance, definitely get on this. And yeah, I guarantee you it'll.
Just done some warm up, get the legs firing, get them moving. We have our first official strength session on the road to recovery. Never used a safety squat bar before, and doing warm up, I quite like it. It definitely puts the body in a bit of a different position to a conventional high bar back squat. Just with the bar going down, if those of you that know, it puts it in a more balanced position between, like, say, a front squat and a back squat to more even out the sort of like the weight distribution across your quads a little bit more. So it's like slightly more quad focused, but that's good. I reckon it will shock my body a fair bit. But anyway, that's what we got. So we're going to use it, and I'm stoked to have it. So on the agenda today is open up the SuperDust app, and here we go, start workout, and then we have a bunch of different, we've got back squat into Bulgarian split squat into some dumbbell stiff leg deadlifts or RDLs as some people know them by, and then a bit of a WOD to finish it off, just to get that oh, this is a big superset actually, and then a WOD, just to get some leg pump into our system, just some bodyweight stuff, nothing taxing on the nervous system apart from, like, realistically the first two exercises. So looking forward to that. It's been a hot minute since I've done an actual, like, WOD. This will be a very dumbed down version of it, that's for damn sure. But yeah, cool, looking forward to it. So let's crack in. That's halfway through. Dear Lord, that is pretty next level in terms of quad pump. I was not ready for this. I don't know if it's just getting into the swing of things again. It has been a week and a half, like not touching a single barbell, just being up in cans and and then a little bit of recovery for this. I just didn't want to like push it too early. Excuse the music in the background. But yeah, no, it's good. I want this pump. We all do. It sucks, and the next few days are definitely going to suck, especially backing it up. But man, we're here to get fucking strong. All right, main part of the session complete. Definitely rode a pretty good one in my opinion. We have now a 15-minute WOD comprised of, get the app up, of this. If you can see that, there we are. So 15-minute AMRAP, bodyweight squat, bodyweight lunge, GHD sit-ups, and 30 cals on the air bike, every rep 30 set for 15 minutes straight. So yeah, it's gonna be a long 15 minutes, but I reckon 3 rounds, give or take a little bit. Let's go. Morning. It is, I think, day 4. Anyway, Saturday, last training day of the week, and then we're into a solid recovery for tomorrow. We have another strength session. This one is a bit of box squats, lunges, and variations of that. And then I think we're finishing off with a little ab/core circuit. And then hopefully, all going well today, we'll move into another 2-hour block on the air bike, which is just super exciting. But anyway, no, it's all good. And then looking forward to tomorrow's recovery. I aim to do some really good stretching probably in the morning, and then maybe in the afternoon or around midday, we'll head to the pools for some sort of like ice bath and spa. So for those of you that have been following me on social media, you'll know that I go there quite regularly. Definitely not as much as I'd like, but I find it super valuable for me, and it just like sort of restarts the body fresh for the next week. I am so freaking sore from the other day's workout. I think it definitely shocked the system a little bit, especially with the new safety squat bar. So yeah, today is going to be a real struggle. The weights are not going to be high. I am like literally struggling to sit and stand up. It's a real mission. For those of you that know how that sort of feels, it sucks. But hopefully by the end of this little cycle, we'll be back into the swing of things. We won't be as sore during the week, but I mean, like, I've got all the time to push through this, so there's nothing important coming up for me other than recovery. So yeah, let's get it.